Welcome to the Node.js release working group meeting for the 12th of August 2021. We will start by working through the agenda, which is in the Node.js release repository in its issue number 687. Before that, are there any announcements anyone would like to make?
You released the security releases yesterday.
Yeah, worth mention, or release lines, no 16, 14, and 12. I believe they fixed three vulnerabilities, and I guess it's worth mentioning now, there is a potential regression in there around building against shared CREs, but we're looking at that and hopefully get a fix out if we can in the next releases. And with that, I'll start by going through our schedules. So if you let me share my screen. So I believe that's the correct one. I should have the Node.js 16 release plan up. Yeah, just checking. It had a different interface, so I was a bit confused. So it looks like we're scheduled up until later in August, but I guess while we're here, probably add the release that we did. Security 1. And then I think we're hoping to just keep that cadence now. Sounds good. For 14, Michael, you're prepping the next minor, aren't you? Are we still hoping for August for that one?
So yes, I'm preparing it, but I'm not sure if we leave it some time for the RC and okay. Yeah, maybe it will be more closer to start of September.
Yeah, no worries. But it's good to hear it's planned for the next one to be a minor. I guess with that many commits, we probably do want to leave it open a little while longer than we normally would.
Yeah, and I'll also be on holiday the next few weeks, so that's also thing to consider.
Sure, definitely. So yeah, maybe we tentatively aim for September sometime. I'll leave the RC in case we manage to get open a bit sooner, but I'll just put that there. I guess it's not like we haven't had a lot of releases recently, so no worries. Bring a bit of a gap. Cool. And on node 12, I guess we kind of mentioned this in passing. At the moment, there's just one thing on the staging branch, and then we have a potential couple more things that might need to go out. So I guess we just leave that and wait. And next on the list is the release keys. I know you mentioned it, Richard. I don't know if you would like to summarize.
Yeah. For a very long time, as long as I can remember, we've had some instructions in the README in the core repo for verifying the signatures on the SHA-SUMs that we upload with each release.
Mm-hmm.
That involves pulling down a copy of the public GPG keys that we use to sign the release and then verifying the SHA-SUMs file against the public key. But the SKS key servers network that we were uploading our keys to is basically, what's the word? They've basically sort of gone away or not been updated. So it's kind of left everything in a very fragmented state. So someone very recently opened a PR to update the instructions, which no longer work because the IP, so the named server no longer resolves to an IP address. So someone opened a PR to update that to one of the other servers in the SKS key server pool. So I thought I'd add it to the agenda today, but I'd forgotten at that time that I added it, that there was an earlier PR that's still open by Nick to change the instructions to use the OpenPGP or Ubuntu key servers, which is, I think, what the Docker repo and the unofficial builds repo are now using to verify releases. I know we have a long-term plan or a medium-term plan to switch the keys Git repo, which we were setting up, and I don't know if it is in a fit state yet. We probably need to double check again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically the current instructions don't work, so we probably need to update them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just updating them to something sensible. I kind of feel that it probably doesn't make sense to replace it with another SKS key server when I'm not convinced that we can be sure what the state of any of those servers are in.
Yeah.
And especially because I think there's a sort of thing about key propagation where I'd like to avoid us having to upload our GPG keys to. I'd like to minimize the number of places we have to upload them to. So I'm not saying that you can't upload them to all these places, but if every releaser has to upload their key to, a growing number of different places, it's going to become very difficult to keep them updated when we have to update them to extend validity or even change them completely, as we've had to do in the past with various releases.
Yeah, I kind of wonder whether it makes sense. Did you mention that the Docker team are pointing to OpenPGP?
Yes.
I wonder if it makes sense temporarily to update our docs in Node to match theirs.
So that's the open PR that I think Nick has opened.
Okay.
The second one in the just make the number card. Where are we? That's 39227 in the node code
Okay.
repo.
Yeah.
Do you know if all of the releasers keys are on the OpenPGP server?
So that might be something we need to check before merging it. I can't remember which one, but I did at one point go through both the Ubuntu key server and the PGP key server, and I think we were all on them, but there may have been a discrepancy. And I can't remember what the discrepancy was. It may have been something like, it may have been your key, Beth, that
Probably
was expired.
Yeah, okay.
Was expired on one of them, but not the other. So,
Maybe
the keys were still there, but it's things like extending the expiry dates and things.
Is it why the Docker team uses both?
That I don't know. I don't know whether that's just because of the sort of fallback mechanism if you temporarily can't get to what the other one. At least with the SKS key servers, it was quite normal to get a sort of timeout or bad response, and then you try again and it will pull you to a different server. But yeah,
I'm kind of conscious of directly updating to use the new release keys thing, although that would be nice because it forces it to kind of progress.
So I think the only thing about the OpenPGP one is it doesn't show email addresses on the keys unless you go through an opt-in.
Yeah, you have to validate it.
Yeah. So it's kind of up to individuals if they're comfortable doing that. But I think you can still get the key. So the key can be uploaded. It's just the identification of the email address, which is only done if you've opted in. And I think it's like a double opt-in, isn't it? Something like you opt in, it sends you an email, and then you confirm.
Okay. Yeah.
Could we set up an action maybe on the keys repository to make sure that they are uploaded?
I think that would make sense. If those are the servers we think we'll go for, I think that makes sense to add an action to the key server.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because if I understand correctly, the Docker team has to use a key server. They cannot download the key from GitHub. I don't remember where I saw that, but someone said someone wrote it in an issue or in one of the pull requests.
That would be surprising because I thought the
Yeah,
keys
it's
were in an ASCII ARM form.
Nick Schoening.
Okay.
In the pull request number 39227.
Okay. I admit, admittedly, I don't know the technical. I know a bit about PGP, but only what I've been able to uncover while trying to sign releases. So yeah, it's there might be a technical reason. I don't know. I thought the GitHub repo had keys in ASCII ARMA format, which should be importable into a local key ring, but
he says that it needs to be a key server, so it's not HTTP protocol. If I don't know how it works, but
okay,
yeah,
it may be something particular to the
Docker setup. I guess if that is the case, then it probably makes sense for us to go that route, like try to have the action and upload it to this OpenPGP or PGP, GPP, whatever it's called, the open one, and make sure that the node core README instructions also uses that one. If Docker have to use it, we might as well not tell people two different methods if we don't have to.
Okay.
I guess the next steps would be to check that our keys are in there, to create the action that will push them in there and hopefully keep them up to date.
Okay.
And then after that, merge the node core PR, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the core PR could be merged after number one's done and we've confirmed all the release of keys are in there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Okay, if we have the actions on that one, was there anything else that folks wanted to talk about, discuss, needed to mention? I don't think I've seen anything.
No, nothing comes to mind.
No. Okay, quick meeting then. And I guess leave it there. I'll add the minutes and make sure I call out those actions and we can regroup in a couple of weeks.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you. Bye.